Chris, I know this one is a little hard for you. Who is to blame for the Clippers' collapse?
Jenny, there's so many ways I could go. I mean, obviously, their three top scorers combined for 31 points on 26% shooting. I could talk about Lou Williams leaving his game in the lemon pepper sauce at Magic City. He wasn't good at all in the bubble. I could talk about Doc Rivers getting out-coached yet again. I said on this show he got out-coached against Dallas by Rick Carlisle. He got out-coached by Mike Malone with Denver. I could talk about all that. But I'm going to get to the crux of the matter. And to me, the bottom line with why the Clippers will be watching the Western Conference Finals, like the rest of us on TV, is that I have never in my 25 years of covering the NBA seen a team that has won nothing, a team that hasn't done anything, to treat the regular season with such nonchalance, such disdain, such disregard. They didn't care at all about the regular season. They didn't think they needed it to develop chemistry. They just, I mean, whether it was Kawhi and Paul George not practicing or missing games, they did not have the right attitude. They just wanted to show up in April, May, and June, or in this case, August, September, and October, which they won't get to, and get to the playoffs and try to win a championship. And in having that attitude, it took away their identity that they built last year. They were a hard-nosed, gritty, tenacious, unselfish team last year. And they lost that identity. And if they had any identity at all this year, it was the identity of prima donnas. I told you guys how I was hearing rumblings as the bubble was opening. And I was hearing that the Clippers, a lot of their players didn't even want to go. We know Lou Williams was hesitant. And I thought about changing my pick then because I was hearing the wrong things, but I stuck with them. And lo and behold, it was true. They did not have the right attitude. We know at the boycott meeting, they voted along with the Lakers, but they voted to leave and not play. And so they needed an attitude adjustment. For all the other things that went wrong, they mentally were not right really this whole season. I think ultimately this will help them. It'll humble them. It'll motivate them for next year. I think that load management, unless it is absolutely, positively necessary for Kawhi Leonard to get through a season, I think that'll be thrown out the window. Doc Rivers even said it last night. Guys were tired. Guys were fatigued. They obviously didn't keep themselves in shape during the 4-month layoff. And so I think ultimately they had the wrong attitude. They thought they were the best team on paper. We're going to show up. Kawhi's going to lead us to the promised land. And obviously it failed.
Chris, I appreciate all that. But you know the reason why they lost. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is supposed to be a superstar. Now, this is what was said about Kawhi. This is what was said about Kawhi because I said to Skip at the beginning of the show, people have said Kawhi Leonard was the best player. And this is what they said.
It's from your minions?
No. Steve sent me this.
Steve.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
After an impressive run through the 2019 playoffs, Kawhi Leonard has taken the mantle as best player in the NBA. They polled 20 coaches, executives, and scouts. Some guy, Tim Botemp from ESPN. Of the 20 coaches, Kawhi Leonard got 12 votes. Giannis Antetokounmpo got 6. James Harden got 2. LeBron James got none.
I think it's Bon Ton.
Okay.
He's Louisiana, where Chris is from.
Okay, Bon Ton.
Yeah.
He did the poll. Hold on, Skip Bayless. In 2018, after a Saturday night loss to the San Antonio Spurs, Skip Bayless, the segment was a new king. Skip Bayless came out here and said, move over, LeBron. Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the NBA. This year, Skip Bayless trotted out here with a Kawhi jersey on, said Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the NBA.
Never said that.
Don't make me do this, Skip. Skip, I don't want to pull the video.
I said Kevin Durant.
No.
I've been consistent with it.
But anyway, here's the thing. This was all Kawhi, his team. Have you ever seen a superstar? I'm talking about a superstar on top of super. It's happened once. Steph did it. And not Kawhi. Because Kawhi is the best player. What I've been told, a lot of I'm just old football guy. You know, just got muscles and, I ain't played basketball. So, and that's all I ask you. But all these other experts told me Kawhi, he is an assassin. He's a cyborg. He feels no emotion. He is just ruthless. He's cut from that cloth like Kobe. And Michael Jordan and LeBron, just a nice guy. He wanted everybody to like him. And when Kawhi signed with the Clippers, it shook the foundation of the NBA. Everybody was so surprised.
Well, they thought he was going to sign with LeBron.
And guess what? He wished he had him. He said, I could have had LeBron. So you took Paul George over LeBron James and AD. How'd that work out for you? This is what Kawhi does.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
I was going to say this. Look, Kawhi obviously came up small. There's no defending what he did. But I'll say we've seen them all do it. We saw Tragic Johnson in 1984. We saw Larry Bird 8 points, 12 points in his first NBA Finals. We saw Isaiah Thomas throw the ball away to Larry Bird in 1987. We saw LeBron James against Dallas in 2011. This was Kawhi's moment to fall short. Just like the rest of them. Let's see what he's made of. I'll give you that, Shannon. Let's see what he's made of. Does he learn from them and become better like those four guys I mentioned? Or does he crumble? I think he learns from it and becomes better.
But has Kawhi ever received the criticism of any great players in his life? He has been beyond reproach.
He hasn't been in that position. Let's face it.
Hold on. With 2 Finals MVP, that's what people were telling me. Because everybody says, would you rather win regular season MVP or Finals MVP? Give me the Finals MVP because that's the championship. Okay, he got 2 of those. He should have been in that breath. 3 double-digit leads by 12 points last night, 15 and 19. 2 points in the second half. 1 for 11 from the floor, minus 20, 0 points in the fourth quarter, 0 for 5 in the fourth quarter, minus 12. That's your game. Is that your king? Is that your king?
My king?
Go, James.
Kevin Durant is my king.
Put his butt down back in the basement and don't let him out till next year.
Wait a second. Who in back-to-back finals won MVP by going head-to-head with LeBron and shooting it right in his grill?
This is not about Kevin Durant.
It's about Kevin Durant.
We're talking about Kawhi Leonard.
I just don't want you to put words in my mouth because I have said repeatedly on this show, Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet.
Did you come out here with a Kawhi jersey on? Have you been fronting out here with Kawhi New Balance, them PPEs?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
because
then.
what did I tell you from the start? For 5 years, when he was a San Antonio Spur, he was my favorite player. Didn't I explain that to you? Then he quit on my Spurs.
Okay.
And he had a master plan. He wanted to quit his way out of town, and he pulled that off.
Right.
And he knew he was going to have to make one layover in Toronto. Yes, he did.
Skip, don't get that man that much credit.
No, he wanted to get home to Los
wanted
Angeles.
to go to the.
And then he jerked the rug right out from under a LeBron who just was dead solid convinced he was going to be a Laker.
On his original trade request, did he have anything Clippers? He had the Lakers. And Pop and Buford said, we're not trading you to the Lakers. So don't do this talking about he had a master plan to get to the Clippers. He wanted to go to the Lakers. You know that. I know that.
I don't know that. He wanted to get to the Clippers.
Oh, my goodness.
So now what happened? You say all-time choke job. I'm going to say it again. There were 3 straight closeout fourth quarters, 3 in a row, game 5, 6, and 7. In the first one, game 5, he was really good. He scored 13 in the fourth quarter. He tried to keep them afloat, but Denver made 7 of 9 threes, and they lost. Game 6, fourth quarter, he's pretty good. He scored 9 points, but Denver made 7 of 9 threes, and they lost again. And then last night, he was horrible. As I tweeted, he was pathetic. It was hard to watch. I didn't want to watch it because I knew it was doomed going to the fourth quarter. They were already down 8. The first 2 fourth quarters, games 5 and 6, they led going to the fourth, and he fought valiantly to keep them afloat, and he couldn't overcome all those threes. Last night, the whole team gagged. But here's my big takeaway. Chris mentioned this. I said to you all year long, so I'm not being 20/20 hindsight here. I first guessed this. I told you from the start, Lou Williams is the closer of the Clippers. And to Chris's point, his heart was not even in going to the bubble in the first place. He took a little excursion and wound up having to be quarantined after he went to Magic City and to a funeral in Atlanta. But the point was, his heart was never in it, and his game was never in it. And you kept telling me, I can't even recognize him. He doesn't look the same to me anymore. In 7 games against Denver, Lou Williams shot 4 of 27 from 3. Can it get much worse than 15% for a high-volume three-point shooter? In the 3 straight closeout game fourth quarters, Lou Williams wouldn't even shoot anymore. I kept saying last night, just shoot it. Just to operate, be Lou. Go back into it. I want to see some lemon pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, show me something.
You like Kawhi and Paul George, just be throwing up bricks. Keep throwing up bricks.
Well, hey, in the past, because he's a sixth man of the year, he shoots nothing but sweet bricks. And the 3 straight fourth quarters, he took 7 total shots and scored 7 total points and made 1 3 in the 3 straight closeout fourth quarters. He was the guy to take him home. I've always told you, I don't trust Kawhi down the stretch of games. He was never that way for the Spurs. I didn't think he was that way for Toronto. He lucked in the luckiest shot I've ever seen to win Game 7 against Philadelphia last year. He's not that guy. He gets it in the flow.
Chris, but they tell me Kawhi is so efficient, but in 7 games, only 2 of those games did he shoot 50% or better from the floor. So how efficient is that? Is that efficient? While my guy is shooting 58%, but he can't shoot. My guy isn't any good.
Well, your guy can't shoot.
I can't tell. Well, your guy can shoot and going home.
You know what? My guy last night wouldn't shoot. The most lethal weapon in basketball is his mid-range jumper, and he just quit shooting it. He lost all faith in it. I don't know why.
He was 6 of 22.
Yeah, I got it.
So he didn't shoot 22 threes.
But he didn't try the mid-range jumper.
Oh, he tried it.
He would try to just force it
He
up
tried it.
through Joker at the rim.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's Kawhi is He's an assassin. He's a cyborg. He has no emotion. Every time he shot, Chris, you watched it. Every time he shot the ball, crying at the official, give me a call. I can't make a shot. Just give me a call. Stop crying.
Kind of like
Lately.
LeBron does.
Pat Bell, you need to get at your boy. We're going to talk about Pat Bell a little later. Pat Bell, holler at me.
Yeah.
You and PG, all that Kiki kid. You remember that was Skip? You remember that?
Do I? Can't wait. So, last quick question for Chris Broussard. Do you hear any rumblings? Do you think there's any chance that Doc is in trouble?
That's the tough question. I would say only a slight chance. I would say very slight. But look, and I'm not saying you get rid of Doc. Doc is a good coach. But as I say, he's been out-coached these 2 series. And you can't avoid his track record. He underachieved with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. I know they had some injuries in the playoffs, but he underachieved with them. He underachieved this year. I could see Ballmer giving him 1 more year, saying, look, we had injuries.
Yep.
We had the pandemic. We weren't together. But here's the tough part is this, Skip. The replacement for Doc could be right there on the bench, right?
He's sitting right there
Ty
with his
Lue.
right hand. Yep.
Yeah.
And other teams want him.
Yep.
So you could lose Ty Lue, who could be the heir apparent if you keep Doc. If I had to guess, I think Doc stays. But
Yeah,
I think
too.
only a slight chance.
I mean, I would, because I like Ty Lue. I know Ty Lue, so it'd be hard. But I want Ty Lue to leave and get his own gig, so I can continue to root feverishly against the Tippers.
Well, would you fear him if he were the head coach of the Clippers?
I fear, Skip. You know, I got the guy that can walk on water.
Well,
I fear nothing.
Well, he's the coach of the Lakers.
I fear nothing.
Yeah.
As long as I got
on
him,
water.
I fear nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
I don't think Shannon slept much last night.
No, I
Riled
wouldn't
up
hear about
for the
1 o'clock.
show. Chris, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll check in with you very soon.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.